The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
In the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. We're rolling on with our coverage of the NFL draft. All your draft prep here in the Sportsocracy. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends as well. It's going to be a whole lot of fun when we have all 3 days of coverage live here for the Wicked Weed studio for the NFL draft starting next Thursday, April the 29th. NFL draft team needs roll on here with the Philadelphia Eagles. And what does this team need? Everything. All of it. What does it come down to, just flipping a coin at this point for what you're going to take?
Nick Sirianni was playing rock, paper, scissors with guys on Zoom calls to figure out how competitive they were.
Oh, really?
I went, oh, that sounds super rich Kotati. Lou Holtzy.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
It has not been a good start to the Nick Sirianni era for the Philadelphia Eagles, although he was handed a bag of shit to start out with.
If you're an Eagles fan, you're going to hate us because we hate this team aggressively.
They are bad.
I don't mind the team. I just, good God, it has been drafted so poorly.
Mm-hmm. They are bad. They got Jalen Hurts as their quarterback.
He bad.
He
is bad.
Jalen.
Eagles fans, I don't know if you need to hear this. He is bad. Bad. There were 38 quarterbacks that had enough snaps to be graded on Pro Football Focus last year. Do you know how many were worse than Jalen Hurts?
3.
1.
Wow.
Do you know what his name was?
Sam Darnold.
Dwayne Haskins. Woof.
Now that's bad.
I'm telling you, this is a year where Philadelphia is going, well, we're going to be 3-14.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to trot Jalen Hurts out there, and it's going to get ugly.
Jalen Hurts is their quarterback. Their wide receiver room needs a whole lot of help. Last year, taking Jalen Reagor in the first round didn't pan out all that well. Greg Ward is your next
Jalen Reagor
option.
was fine when he was healthy. The problem was he wasn't healthy all that often.
Mm-hmm. Okay. On the offensive side of the ball, I think wide receiver has to be their option. You're not going after a quarterback. You've already screwed that up with the Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts thing. We're just going to be bad for this year, but you got to at least give the guy a weapon. And I think that's probably the safest bet for them at number 12.
I have him taking Devontae Smith at 12. I just look at him and go, you know what? That's the best. To me, that's the best, most polished receiver in this draft. He's just really light. Mm-hmm. If he weighed more, he would probably be an easy top 10 pick. But with him being so underweight and a lot of people having issues about that, and he's not all that tall in the first place, I just think that, you trade it down to 12, you get the receiver that's left. Why you traded down, I'm not 100% sure. But you did. You're here. And I have them. Receivers, their biggest need to me.
I agree. I think wide receiver is the biggest need, and then after you get the wide receiver, then you focus on the defense, because you look at this defense.
Your secondary is terrible.
I was going to say, you look at the second and third levels of this defense. It's just Anthony Harris and
it's Darius Slay
and a bunch of dudes.
Andre Maddox and Kevon Seymour and
So if they go with a cornerback, you have a fit here with Aaron Robinson.
I like Aaron Robinson. The big knock on him is he's not much of a press guy. I think he can be in time, but you just need talent. You need guys that you can put on the field that are big boy talents, and Aaron Robinson is certainly that. He's very athletic. Mm-hmm. I like him a lot. I have them taking him at number 70. Okay. Or no, 85. I lied. Aaron Robinson comes off the board to them at 85.
Okay.
They're picked from the Carson Wentz pick from the Indianapolis Colts. Mm-hmm. The other, another need, they're very bad at linebacker, and I feel like they have been for a long time. Jamin Davis, to me, there are not many places that I like him. I do like him in Philadelphia. I think he can be a tackling machine in Philadelphia. I've never understood why he's a second-round pick, but he's going to be. He's not going to go at the back end of the first round. That's nonsense. Mm-hmm. I had a fifth-round grade on him 3 months ago. and it jumped all the way up to a 4. But if it's going to go that high, I want him to go to a place where he's at least a schematic fit, and I think he is a schematic fit with Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, so Jermaine Davis with that 37th pick that they have in the second round. How about a safety? Jamar Johnson out of Indiana?
Yeah, Jamar Johnson might be the worst tackling safety I've ever seen in my life. However, he's very good over the top. And with the signing of Anthony Harris, I know it was just a one-year deal, but you need a guy that can play deep. Jamar Johnson can play deep. He's an over-the-top safety. They do not try to put this guy in the box because it's not going to go well. He does not tackle well. His missed tackle rate is ridiculous. But he can make a play on the ball. He's a good over-the-top safety, and I think he would fit what Philadelphia is trying to do.
Okay, I would say they probably need to add something to the offensive line.
I agree with you, but they have a lot of needs.
They do.
And by a lot of needs, I mean they have a lot of needs.
But tight end to me is not one of them.
Dallas Goedert's not a tight end.
Okay.
He can't block for shit. You have a quarterback that runs all the time. That's what he does because he's not a very good thrower. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna throw him out there with 4 wides? That sounds like a recipe for dum-dum to me. And Zach Ertz is going to be gone. Mm-hmm. You're going to fetch some kind of draft pick for him. I have gotten absolutely no feeling of what that's going to be.
There's been not a whole lot of talk about it.
Well, there's been a lot of teams that have been interested, but they apparently don't want to give anything up. Mm-hmm. So where he ends up, I don't know. I've heard the Chargers a bunch of times, and it makes decent enough sense. But I like a guy like Tommy Tremble out of Notre Dame. He is a very poor man's George Kittle in that he can be a decent receiving threat, but he can also block. Offensive line, I don't disagree that they need that. The problem is with where they're picking, they're going to go right in front of them time after time after time.
Do you think they will be able to eclipse last year's 4 wins, or
No.
do you think they're worse than that?
No, I think they'll be looking to win 2 games. I've said this on the show a bunch of times. I've never seen a young quarterback taken in the second round like Jalen Hurts, which, first of all, I am never a fan of taking a quarterback in the second round. If I don't believe in you enough to take you in the first, I'm out because you're not a starter to me. Mm-hmm. I have never seen a young quarterback that had a draft capital like that used on them that's been given this little to work with. The line's bad. You have one legitimate running back. Boston Scott's fine as a change of pace guy, but when Miles Sanders got hurt, you saw that, no, this is not a guy that should be this should not be the number 2 back in Philadelphia.
Right.
To really be honest with me, on offense, what do they do well?
Not a whole lot.
Nothing. It's nothing. It's just atrophied in a hurry. It's a lot of guys like Alshon Jeffrey, who, I know he's not here anymore, but just guys that you gave money to that you shouldn't have, and now you've wiped the decks clean, and this is going to be an ugly year, but you get a lot of money back next year. You'll be picking pretty high next year.
And they got a whole lot of room to add to this suck team with 11 picks in this draft. They got 3 picks in the 6th round, 2 of them in the 7th round. So it's going to be a whole lot more collection of dudes hoping that you hit something in those later rounds. We will be here for all of the picks of the NFL draft in the Wicked Weed studio. Be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. I'm Tank Spencer, and he's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.